Phoenix Books presents
Hazardous Duty by Colonel David H. Hackworth. Read by the author.
What the armed forces in the country need is to stop brooding about the past and think things through in a positive, constructive way. I don't want to bash the military, but as an institution, it is not above criticism. It desperately needs honest critics who know what they are talking about, not ideologues or fools or people who have been co-opted, but tough-minded patriots who will push for a lean, mean, invincible, and affordable defense force. Maybe I can help. The Vietnam interview I gave ABC's Issues and Answers at Ca Lan, Vietnam, in 1971 was the defining moment in my life. After I attacked the military's conduct of the war, I was not welcome within the U.S. Army as a force for reform. Vietnam left me full of bitter anger and disappointment, mainly with the military, but also with my country and how it treated the warriors who fought there. After moving to Australia, I began to recover. I carved out a farm out of the rainforest, then ran and eventually sold a top restaurant in Brisbane. But for almost 20 years, I still held that anger close, poisoning my life. For me, writing About Face was a healing, a catharsis. Not until I wrote this book was I able to start coming to terms with my own rage. I didn't realize until I'd finished that I no longer felt angry. I no longer wanted to slit William Westmoreland's throat. I just wanted to expose him for what he was, a reckless butcher. Then one day in 1989, while I was sitting with my old friend and Army mate Tim Grattan at his place by the lake south of Whitefish, Montana, I suddenly realized something. All the rage that had caused me to leave my homeland for self-imposed exile in Australia was gone. I looked around and saw that America was where I wanted to live. At that moment I started thinking, here is where I want to park my bones when I depart from this planet. When I found myself saying that, I knew I was ready to come home. I bought a chunk of Montana and started planning my next venture, world headquarters in Whitefish. I ended About Face with the words, "This is just the beginning." At that time, I didn't know how much ground pounding I would have to do to keep that promise. Since About Face came out, I have spent 7 years chasing grunts on the training fields and in battle, this time with a pen and notebook instead of an ammo belt and an M16. As a civilian, I've waded into the middle of every major American military operation overseas. Desert Storm, Somalia, Haiti, Korea.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?